So guys, we've got a bit of a throwback today, doing something we haven't done in quite a while, and it's a good old-fashioned tool haul. Recently hit up AES Wave and placed my first order, and we got quite a few products in here from AES Wave to take a look at. Now, I've known about AES Wave for quite a long time, thanks to Paul Danner, Scanner Danner, here on YouTube, but never really got into looking around at their tools too specifically or putting down my cash and purchasing anything. But that all changed last week when I ordered what I have to show you all today, along with one other piece of equipment that was recently released from AES Wave that hasn't arrived yet, we'll talk about in a later video. With that said, let's go ahead and jump up on the toolbox and take a look at what I got. So guys, a quick little sweep across at the three products I purchased from AES Wave, and we're gonna go through this from most expensive to least expensive, talk about each one, why I purchased it, what it's used for, and which of these might be good for some of you DIYers. So guys, first up on the docket, we have the AES Wave Utest Terminal Kit. This is a part number 16-200. And this kit goes for $269. Now, overall piece count on this kit, I can't recall offhand, but it is a super packed kit for electrical diagnosis. Now, we've got a full sheet here that comes with it that tells you exactly what is in here, an inventory sheet. And then, of course, we see it's all nice and laid out in the foam, padded case, zippered shut. Now, really quickly, we'll just run through this, what we got, a little bit about what this does, and just show off the kit a little bit more. So we have two piercing probes. We have two pin tip probes with removable insulators. We have two large alligator clips, two small alligator clips. We have a variable resistor here just off frame. We've got a set of inline Y adapters, banana to dual banana clip. We've got airbag and SRS simulators. You can actually put these in line and put a resistor in here to simulate an airbag module for testing. Back here we have our amp fuse loop. We've got a maxi fuse, we've got a ATC fuse, and we've got a mini fuse. So what you can do is if you want to check amperage draw on a fuse circuit, you can pop out your fuse from the fuse box, plug this in, locate your fuse here so you still have a fuse circuit, and then you can grab your amp clamp and put on the loop here so you can measure amperage draw of that individual circuit. Over here in the side pouch, we have two female coupler leads with banana sockets. We have two male coupler leads with stacking banana plugs. Up here we've got micro back probing leads. We've got 2mm to 2mm socket spring loaded leads. We've got 2mm to standard 4mm banana jack socket leads. So then here at the back, we've got our 7-inch terminal leads, male and female. This is the main reason I bought the kit. These are really, really cool. These are your little front probes. Now, traditionally, if you want to check on or put a meter or a lab scope into a circuit, you would go in with a back probe or you would pierce a wire. Piercing a wire is always want to be your last line of getting in there because you don't want to put a hole in the insulation where moisture and stuff can get in there and corrode your wiring. So you want to go in with like a T-pin or a traditional sticky back probe, but back probes can sometimes damage the connection inside the connector, and front probing a male connector can spread pins. So that's where these come in. Say, let's grab our example here. This is a camshaft sensor off an EJ253. So if you're going to use your regular multimeter to, let's say, measure resistance across this sensor, you'd have to, grow 3 hands to try to hold it, and then hold one of your leads from your meter on each of those, and you'd try to have to hold it there and not slip off, all that kind of stuff. Well, with this kit, you can just grab these front probing leads, and they slide right on to the little tabs right here, and then you can just hook these into your meter, and you're not worried about slipping off or holding the little probes onto the little tabs in here. Now, Also, you get the opposite side. So if you want to probe the front of the connector that connects to this camshaft sensor, instead of, again, trying to take your leads and push it up against there and possibly spread those connectors out, you can take these leads, which are the exact same size as what is in the sensor itself, and you can simply insert those into the pigtail and, again, hook up to your meter to measure resistance of the circuit or whatever else you need to do. So these are super, super handy for hooking up and hooking into electrical systems where components are at either pigtails or the components. So those of you may remember that not too long ago I did a YouTube short on a kit similar to this. It was by AES, Electronic Specialties. Not as many pieces in that kit and not as well made as that kit. I ended up returning that kit on Amazon. I then actually purchased a higher count kit. Basically the same kit as you see here. It was a generic Chinese unbranded kit, and it was of very poor quality. So again, returned it, and then I finally settled on this one from AES Wave, and just really, really high quality leads in this. All of these are very well made. The other ones were just cheap and junky feeling, and you don't want to skimp out when you're doing electrical diagnostic work. You don't want some variable in your test leads or equipment being junky or cheap, throwing off your measurements or readings. Always want to invest in something good and high quality. So guys, next up on the list we have the AES Wave OBD2 Smart DLC Breakout Box. That is a data line monitor as well as a breakout box. This goes for $199. Again, this purchase was kind of inspired by Scanner Danner because I saw him use this in a couple of his videos in the past. So what is a breakout box for those of you that don't know? This is basically a big blown up version of your DLC connector, your data link connector that's under the dash where you plug in an OBD2 scanner. So this is all of your individual pins pinned out and big, or you can put a banana jack in here. So if you remember back to about a month or two ago when we did the ATF service on the BRZ, there was a section in there where you could short two pins in the DLC connector together and monitor your ATF temperatures via the up and down shift indicator in the cluster. And if I recall correctly, we had to short pin 4 and 13 together, if I remember right. I think it was 4 from the right on the top and 4 from the left on the bottom. Pretty sure it was 4 and 13. So on that, we ended up taking a very small piece of wire or a paper clip and putting it in there. Now you can get away with that, but there's also that danger of accidentally spreading open those pins, and you don't want to spread open pins, especially in your DLC connector. So with this breakout box, instead, when we do that, we could simply take a lead that has banana jacks and plug it from here to here to accomplish the same thing, much easier and much more safe, and also, right here in our hands, rather than having to crawl under the dashboard and jam it up in the DLC connector. So this is an intercepting breakout box. What that means is you can plug in this to the DLC connector, and then you can plug your scan tool into here. Now, this box has some switches on it and LEDs on it. Now, what the box also is able to do, other than just going through and checking the pins and taking measurements of those pins, is it has two different functions. There is an active mode and a diagnostic mode. Now, at the active mode, you can just use it like any other time with your scan tool hooked directly into your data link connector. But you have these status LEDs that will light up, illuminate, flash, etc. to show you things like communication on the CAN lines, show your power and ground is good, all these kind of different metrics. You can also flip over to the diagnostic mode. If I remember right, I think it's the switch up here or the switch down here. I'm still trying to learn the tool because I literally just unboxed it. But we can go through really quickly on the instructions that come with it. But as I said, there are two modes. There's the active mode and there is the diagnostic mode. So here's from the directions when to use the diagnostic mode. If you're resistance testing on the data lines, if you're diagnosing a power or ground issue, if you're using a logic probe to find opens or shorts, anytime you want to eliminate as many variables as possible from your testing. Now, when you don't need to use this diagnostic mode is if you're lap scoping your data lines, if you are jumping data lines together, or if you were doing normal scan tool operation. So the active mode has the LEDs that come on and will indicate, you know, if you have communication, if you have data moving on the CAN lines, all that kind of good stuff. So it does give you a bit of a status of the DLC while you are hooked up to the scan tool. So that is a nice feature as well. Also on the back, in the diagnostic mode, there is a chart that tells you what each light on and off represents over here, helping you diagnose issues. So really cool little tool for $199. Just like I said, plugs in between the computer's DLC and your scan tool. Can give you all kinds of information, monitoring as you scan. Also gives you an easy ability to check data lines, check these pins, and short pins together if you need to in diagnostic testing, or just filling your transmission fluid on your BRZ. So last thing to look at, which I think is probably the most impressive thing, especially for you DIY viewers, is the AES Wave UScope. Now this is the basic kit. They have two different kits. The basic kit is $199, and then they have a master kit that comes in a hard case, foam insert, and has like an amp clamp and an inductive pickup and several other leads with it. But I believe that kit is like $400 or $500. I'll put on screen, I can't remember off the top of my head. But this is a super handy tool and an affordable tool, in my opinion, for those of you that want to get into upper level diagnostics, especially if it's just on your own vehicle. A lot of times in videos you see me break out the 4-channel oscilloscope on my Snap-on Zeus, or now on the Top Don Phoenix Max, and you think, gee, Mr. Subaru, that's great that you have an oscilloscope and that's great that you can do this component testing, but what about me at home? I can't justify a $14,000 Snap-on Zeus or a $4,500 Phoenix Max. What is there out there for me as far as oscilloscope testing of various sensors on a vehicle? And that is where AES Wave's UScope comes in. This is a very compact, very small, 1-channel lab scope that is only $199. Now it has a lot of power in it, and it has a lot of little built-in features in it that I can't go over right here, or this video will be forever long. I'll try to leave some links in the description to AES Wave's videos on a larger overview of this tool and more in-depth operation of this tool. We're just going to go over a quick look at it, look at what comes with the basic kit, and we're probably going to go hook it up and show a waveform on it. Probably a cam sensor on an EJ single overhead cam. So it is a rechargeable, self-contained lithium-ion battery pack in this UScope. It comes with, in the basic kit, it comes with a set of leads for you. It comes with some back probes. It comes with some pins. It comes with the little protective silicone boot here you see, the orange, and it comes with the power cord, which is a micro USB, and a couple other cables. But again, this is a lab scope in the palm of your hand for $200. So all of you guys out there that have been asking about, you know, diagnosing crank sensors or cam sensors, or wanting to diagnose all of these individual components on your Subaru rather than just, you know, replacing them on a whim from a code, this is your key to get into upper level diagnostics, get into a lab scope for a very affordable price tag. So guys, here we are. We got an old 2000s EJ253 running. We are tied into our cam sensor, and we can see our pattern coming through on our cam sensor here on the little UScope. So again, super handy little tool for checking sensors on your vehicle. Super affordable little oscilloscope. And of course, guys, what we were seeing there really quickly was the camshaft sensor was picking up these little notches on the back of our cam pulley, which generated that signal we saw telling the PCM the position of the camshaft, where it was, and that's what we were picking up on. So guys, there you have it. There is a quick rundown of the tool haul from AES Wave. Lots of little diagnostic tools that are going to make life much easier, stuff you're going to see in future videos, I'm sure. This video was again not sponsored by AES Wave. I paid my cold hard cash on this stuff. I'll put my receipt up on screen once again. Now, it would be great if AES Wave saw the video and wanted to reach out and give a promotional code to give you viewers a discount on any of this stuff, anything to help you guys out. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you all in the next one.